These are the 3 and 4 of I became the mother of the bloody male lead. You can find the part 1 and 2 parts links in the pinned comment and description. Hey everyone! I've created a new channel to explore even more amazing stories, which will also serve as a backup channel. I love to have you all in joining me on this new adventure. Channel link is in the description. Now back to the recap. The Duke asked, "Did you sleep well?" Cheryl replied, "When did you come? I dozed off and didn't even realize you both had returned." Castle said, "Mom, it's obvious that you're lying." Cheryl asked, "You both were bickering quite a bit a little while ago. Did the two of you become friends in the meantime?" The Duke replied, "Because you wished for it." Castle added, "Exactly, Mom wished for the two of us to get along well." Cheryl commented, "It's a bit awkward to praise someone in front of them while they're asleep. It's embarrassing, you know." Castle asked, "What can I do when my mom is so nice?" "Mom, you must be tired. Get some more rest. Can I sleep here too?" Cheryl replied, "Of course, it's absolutely fine." Castle asked, "It's time for father to go back now, right?" Cheryl told him, "I've already told you. You can't keep your father away." Castle replied, "I don't particularly dislike father either, it's just that I like mom so much. I just wish mom would tell me that she loves me the most." The Duke asked, "Would it be okay if I stayed here with you too?" Castle replied, "Since Mom wishes for the 3 of us to get along well, I give my permission." After that, Cheryl said, "He fell asleep so quickly, so precious." The Duke told her, "Lying together on the same bed like this feels like a dream. It's what I've been longing for all along. Sometimes I feel like this situation is punishment, tormenting me." Cheryl asked, "With our lovely castle here by our side, what is there to be uneasy about? When the weather clears, let's all go on a boat trip together." "Promise?" The Duke replied, "Yes." Cheryl said, "I hope this time you can keep your promise." The next day, Kietville said, "Your Excellency, you seem unusually cheerful today." The Duke replied, "If you have time for chattering, why don't you take care of the remaining documents?" Kietville asked, "There's still time left. Is there a particular reason for you to handle it urgently? Is it due to the expedition? But haven't you been there recently? The territory should be relatively stable for a while. By any chance, is it related to the madam?" The Duke replied, "You seem talkative today." Cheryl came and asked, "Are you busy? I have something to discuss." Castle also came and asked, "It seems like Dad is busy. Should we come back later?" Cheryl said, "Do you remember our promise? I thought it would be nice to go on that boat trip before the weather gets even hotter." The Duke replied, "I can take a day off work next week. Don't worry about the location. I've already taken care of it." Cheryl stated, "Oh." The Duke was looking forward to it too. He's putting in quite a bit of thought. "Thank you so much. I'm already looking forward to it. Preparing a delicious picnic lunch sounds like a great idea." Kietville said, "A vacation with your beloved family. You must be quite happy. I worked all night for a few days. That made me suffer." The Duke told him, "Quiet down." A few days later, Daisy said, "My lady, the weather is quite nice today. We packed everything, even the food you asked for." Cheryl replied, "Thank you, as always." And Castle, "What if you get hurt while running?" Castle replied, "I wanted to ride the carriage with Mom." Cheryl told him, "You're so sweet, you can sit beside your dad in the carriage, right?" Castle replied, "I wanted to go while sitting beside you." Cheryl thought, since he's still young, his thoughts are visible on his face. The Duke came and asked, "Did you wait too long?" "Your dress today is," Cheryl said, "It's pretty. This style is popular these days." The Duke told her, "You should use some skin protection because the sun might sting your skin." "I'll do that later. Now, let's get on the carriage." Cheryl thought, "What? It makes me feel weird when he says it like that while my face is all ready." Castle asked, "Mom, my heart feels warm. Let's get into the carriage, right?" Cheryl replied, "Our Castle, you're still quite young." The Duke stated, "I just cast a cooling spell on him, so he'll feel cool during the ride. By the way, your face is red too. It would be better for you to get on the carriage as well." Cheryl thought, "Why does he keep smiling? He's handsome, but he looks even more handsome like this." In the carriage, Castle asked, "Dad, are you sure we're on the right path? All I can see is grass." The Duke replied, "Well, we'll have to get off and walk a little, thank God the weather is nice." After some time, the Duke said, "Sherial, be careful as you get off." Castle came and told him, "Thank you, sir." Sherial thought, it's because he's jealous. The next moment, Castle said, "Put me down, I want to walk while holding my mom's hand." The Duke replied, "I'll carry you to the lake. If you're tired before we even arrive, you won't be able to enjoy the boating properly. Let's go too." Sherial thought, he's so close, my heart is pounding, I feel awkward for more reasons. The Duke asked, "It won't take long, do you want me to carry you too?" Sherial replied, "It's all right, it's not like I'm a kid, also, I'm heavy." Castle told her, "My father is busy, so he can't do this often." The Duke stated, "I think we've arrived." Sherial commented, "I didn't know there was a place like this near the mansion." The Duke replied, "I wanted to come here with you one day, you've finally kept the promise from that day." Sherial asked, "Promise, when was that?" The Duke replied, "At that time, I never imagined us having a child." Sherial thought, "Did they make a promise right after getting married?" She said, "The Duke keeps his promises well, that is so sweet." The Duke told her, "If it is for you, I can do anything." Sherial thought, "My heart flutters when I see that smile." After that, Castle said, "Mom, here, take a look at the lake, it's amazing." Sherial replied, "That's right, it's transparent and pretty, just like our castle's eyes." After that, Castle said, "Mom, my stomach feels weird." Sherial replied, "It's okay, you can hold on to Mom's hands tightly." Sherial thought, "That's strange, my hands feel uneasy, as if I've left something important behind, oh no. My God, please turn the boat around immediately." The Duke told her, "Calm down for now, I'm worried you'll get hurt." Castle asked, "What's wrong, Mom?" Sherial replied, "I think I left the basket I packed for lunch on the carriage." The Duke asked, "Is that such a big problem?" Sherial replied, "I don't like the idea of having my husband and child starve on a picnic." The Duke said, "You're still a bit clumsy." Sherial recalled a memory of when the Duke said, "I'm a bit clumsy." Sherial had replied, "Absolutely not." The Duke had asked, "What do you mean by no? Get up, your clothes got dirt on them." Sherial thought, "What did I just recall? Why did it suddenly come to my mind? Why do I feel like I'm really missing something? Is this because of the real Sherial's memories?" The Duke inquired, "Are you really worried about the basket you left behind?" Sherial replied, "It's not like that." The Duke then asked, "Did something offend you?" Sherial thought, "Even if I tell him about the memories I recalled, it will just make the atmosphere awkward. I can't ruin our first family outing." Then she told him, "Yes, I was offended, you said I was clumsy. How much care did I put into today?" The Duke didn't know what to say. Sherial told him, "If you want me to let it slide, please buy something delicious for me and Castle." The Duke replied, "You really are, just ask for anything you want. There's nothing I can't buy for my wife and son. I'll have to change the route I originally planned, turn the boat around toward the estate." After that, the Duke said, "Get down carefully." Sherial replied, "Don't treat me like a child." Sherial thought, "These two have become a lot closer, I'm so proud of them. If we continue like this, we can avoid the bad ending for the male lead." Then both of them held her hands. Sherial said, "I'm doing well thanks to my loving husband and cute son." After that, Sherial said, "These clothes seem too flashy for me to wander around the city. People keep staring at us. Is there a clothing store nearby?" The Duke replied, "There's a place I know, let's go there." Asha welcomed them, "Welcome, customers." Suddenly, Asha asked, "Aren't you the Duke? I didn't know you would come here. How on earth did the Duchess and the Duke come together?" "Hello. My name is Asha." Sherial replied, "Nice to meet you, sir." Asha continued, "I was already thinking of going to say hello to the Duke, I'm so happy that you came." The Duke replied, "I see." Sherial thought, even though they know each other, why aren't they acting friendly? No, maybe I'm being too sensitive. The Duke asked, "Has anything happened so far?" Asha replied, "It's not a big deal. It's just the same work as always. Thank you for coming here first every time, but you came today without informing me beforehand." The Duke told him, "I was just passing by, I dropped by because it crossed my mind. Sheriel thought, is there something special going on between them? After that, Asha told them, for now, let's do this for the Duke and the little master. How about wearing this, Duchess? Sheriel thought, he might just be someone the Duke knows, but what if that's not the case? Why am I suddenly worried about people around the Duke? No way, am I jealous now? Asha asked, Your Grace, if you don't like it, can I show you something else? Sheriel replied, No, it's okay. Do you know Kian? Asha replied, If it's the Duke's nickname, oh my god, I'm sorry. I got so excited. Why are you even asking me? There's no way I wouldn't know, Sheriel thought. There's no way you wouldn't know. What on earth are you doing? Asha asked, My lady, don't you know me? It's me, Asha. I was a member of the Duke's Knights. I used to have long hair, Sheriel thought. What? Asha told her, Yes, while working as a knight, I found a new dream. A lot of people liked my clothes, so I decided to open a clothing shop under this name. It's not enough to repay what I've received from you, but I've decided to gift you clothes every time you go on a tour of the territory. Sheriel thought, I'm doomed. Obviously, in the beginning, he was just trying to become friends with my cute son. It's strange. Why is my heart pounding like this? Duke's love must run deep in Sheriel's heart. My heart breaks every time I hear his words. It's strange that I keep wanting to get closer to him, as if I were the real Sheriel. Castle came and said, Mom, I'm ready. I'm hungry now. Let's hurry, Sheriel replied. I'm almost ready too. Let's go quickly. Then she said, and I'm sorry for asking questions earlier. I think I misunderstood for a moment. Asha replied, No, it's because of the rumors going around among people. I'm glad you two get along so well. The Duke told her, You'll end up tripping if you walk like that. Sheriel asked, Do you think I'm a fool? The Duke replied, I didn't say anything. Asha thought, Master, you have finally found your longtime unrequited love. Next scene. Sheriel asked, Was your boating okay today? If Mom hadn't made that mistake, we would have enjoyed it longer. Castle replied, No, it was fun. The lake looked sparkling and pretty, and the wind felt nice and cool. After that, Sheriel told him, Careful, it's hot, blow on it before eating. Castle replied, Mom, say ah. Sheriel thought, I have to take a video clip of him. Then she replied, It's more delicious when you feed me. The next moment, Sheriel said, Say ah. The Duke replied, You really are something. Scene change. Sheriel said, He's sound asleep. I guess he was exhausted. The Duke replied, The servants told me he couldn't sleep yesterday. I think his expectations were higher than I thought. Sheriel told him, He's so lovely. Thank you for taking great care of me today. You also treated Castle kindly. Next time, let's play together. The Duke replied, Okay, let's do it next time. After that, the butler asked, Shall I carry the young master to his room? The Duke said, It's okay. I'll take him there myself. Kietvel tried to say, Your Grace, you should go to the office after taking the young master too. Daisy asked, Are you not catching on? Castle woke up and asked, Wow, are we home already? Sheriel replied, Are you tired yet? You should wash up, change clothes, and sleep with Mom. Castle replied, No, I'll sleep alone in my room. Sheriel asked, Are you going to sleep alone? Is there something regarding Mom that you're upset about? Castle replied, No, today was fun. I made a promise with Dad, that's why we won't be sleeping together. Sheriel asked, Mom is also curious. Won't you tell me? Castle replied, No, it's a secret. I won't tell Mom. You don't have to read a storybook for me today either since Mom is tired too. Sheriel said, Castle is amazing. You worry about Mom so much that you even postponed reading your favorite fairy tale book. Then she asked, What did you two promise? The Duke replied, My son wanted it to be a secret, so we'll be keeping it between us. After that, Sheriel thought, It's awkward because the three of us used to sleep together, but suddenly we are going to be separated. What did you two promise? I feel like you won't tell me even if I ask again. Duke won't be here again when I wake up. He always goes to bed after us and leaves in the morning without even showing us his face. I know he's busy, but he must be tired as well. Did Castle make time for us to talk? Did he want Mom and Dad to be closer? Sheriel tried to talk, The Duke asked, "Why are you calling for me?" Sheriel thought, Duke is such a nervous person. His hands are shaking. Are you still worried that if Sheriel's memories come back, things will go back to the way they were before? I told you I won't change. Sheriel replied, I'm just curious about how you felt about today. The Duke replied, it was very good, you and Castle. You were both laughing so happily to the point that I couldn't tell who the child was, and I was able to keep the promise we made. Suddenly, Sheriel remembered the memories where the real Sheriel shouted, don't believe what he says, promises have no meaning, I should not love that person, I am not allowed to be happy. Actually, I wanted to be happy, I wanted to tell him I love him too, but I couldn't, so I would rather he hates me. Sheriel thought, why did Sheriel's memories suddenly come flooding in? The real Sheriel also loved Duke, but why did she push him away so coldly? The Duke asked, are you okay? Your face suddenly looks pale. Sheriel replied, I'm okay, then thought, even if I don't change, Duke will continue to be as anxious as he is now, so I need to know the truth in order to fix this relationship. Let's find out about the real Sheriel and Duke's past. Sheriel said, I think about this often, I think you love me more than you love yourself. Why do you love me so blindly? The Duke replied, because your smile is pretty, even your clumsy moves caught my eye. Would you believe me if I told you that I fell in love with you this hard just because it was you? Sheriel told him, but I never paid attention to you. The Duke asked, why are we talking about that now? Sheriel replied, you keep feeling anxious, you keep treating our relationship like a dream that will break someday. Are you still afraid that my memories will return? Please tell me directly, what happened between us? The Duke stated, I may be selfish, but I don't want to tell you everything. I have always wanted to see you smile for a long time. Please stay like this just a while longer. Sheriel asked, even if I like you and want to be closer to you, are you going to keep running away? The Duke told her, I don't want to hurt you. Sheriel said, you won't hurt me, I'm giving you permission, so don't run away. I told you this moment will never go away. The Duke asked, then even if I kiss you, you won't blame me? Sheriel replied, yes, so don't stop. The Duke thought, it was you who told me not to stop. The next day, Sheriel thought, in the end, I didn't hear anything last night. Suddenly, he left, saying, I have some business to do. Now it's clear that he didn't want to talk, so he avoided me. Daisy and the other servants do the same when I try to ask them about my past. I feel like they're running away. If this goes on, I'll never know anything. If there's any other way to find out, it would be nice if someone who knows a lot about the Duke shows up. Wait a minute, there was that person. If it's Lady Penel, then I'm sure she might know something about it. Looks like the rumors were true. Since I was invited, I should take this opportunity to ask about the real Sheriel and the Duke. If I use this well, I can get good information. After that, Castle asked, is there something you want to say to me? What's wrong? Sheriel replied, the Marquis Penel's young master, whom we visited the other day, said he misses you a lot, so I received an invitation to visit their mansion this time. No one will torment you like last time because we're the only ones invited this time. Castle asked, does Radius really want to see me? If that's the case, then Mom, can't we invite them to our mansion this time? I want to invite a friend to my mansion. Sheriel thought, our castle is starting to invite other friends first, little by little. We are deviating from the ruined male lead route, she said. I will write to Lady Penel again. The next day, Penel came and said, it's been a while, thank you for inviting me. Sheriel replied, I hope you didn't have any trouble on your way here. Penel said, no, it was fine, I didn't realize how time passed in the carriage. Radius also greeted her, saying, hello, Your Grace. Sheriel replied, long time no see. I hope you have fun here. Castle has been waiting for you for a long time. Radius asked, really? Castle replied, yes, I wanted to meet you again. After that, Penel commented, the color of the tea is so pretty. Sheriel told her, it's not bitter and has a refreshingly sweet taste, making it easy to drink. It's from the Western Kingdom. They say it has a healing effect. It's okay to drink it when you're tired. If you like it, would you mind sharing a little? You'll love drinking it on tiring days. Penel said, that's so sweet of you. It may be rude, but would it be okay if I share some with a lady I'm close with? Sheriel replied. Then I guess I should provide you with more tea leaves. Penzel thanked her and said, she loves children very much, just like you. She's a girl with hair as pink as tea and eyes that sparkle like sunlight. Too bad her mother is sick. Sheriel thought for a moment. A girl with pink hair and a sick mom. That's the same as the description of the female lead that Castle loved in the novel. This is a big deal. The female lead's misfortune begins with her mother's death. Then she asked, is the child, by any chance, 7 years old this year? Is she a child with pretty pink hair and golden eyes who's taking care of her mother? Penzel asked, yes, it's true, but how did you know? The two of you have probably never met. Sheriel replied, when I received the invitation for your son's birthday party, I had asked the house servant if there were children around Castle's age. That's when I was told about the Viscountess's daughter. Then she thought, I have to come up with an excuse on the spot. After some chatting, Sheriel thought, so, there's only 1 year left. The female lead, Kyrenia, had just turned 8 when her mother passed away. That's when the string of misfortunes started. Kyrenia's father, who was unable to cope with the shock of losing his wife, lost himself to alcohol. Due to this, a fraudster approached the family and robbed them of all their wealth. Filled with guilt, her father chose to end his life. Then the female lead, struggling with the debt all alone, came to work as a maid for the Duke. After meeting Castle, he became drawn to her due to their similarities, and eventually became obsessed with her. I can't let the family of the female lead fall into destruction if I want to stop the original novel's plot from progressing the same way. The name of the illness that affected the Viscountess was the Plague of Lopetus. The Viscountess gave up on getting treated, since finding a priest was difficult, not to mention the excessive cost. However, I know another way to cure her disease. Then she asked, is it all right if I come to visit Viscountess Fornell with you? Penzel replied, I will send a letter to Lady Fornell. Then she asked, my lady, is there something you wish to tell me? You look quite perturbed. Sheriel told her, I meant to ask if there are any rumors going on about me. As you know, I don't show up to social gatherings or meet with other ladies, so I was worried that there may have been some crude rumors spreading about me. Penzel replied, no, you're wrong. They're all simply jealous of you. It's because you are practically the main character of a romantic love story. Everyone knows how famous your life story is. The Duke, enamored with you since childhood, proposed to you, even offering to clear your family debt. What I told you just now is all the talk here is about you, so there is no need to worry. Now, please tell me about your darling son. I wanted to talk about our adorable children with you. After some time, Daisy spoke, Madam, I apologize for the intrusion. The thing is, Sheriel asked, is something the matter? The person replied, I came to request your help. The young Master Cardeziel and the Marquise's son are currently, the gymnasium will be turned to rubble from the 2 young masters. Please stop them. In the next scene, Sheriel thought, my goodness, what is happening here? Castle thought, oh no, Mom. Sheriel asked, will you tell me what happened? Looking at his face makes me soft, but I have to remain harsh and scold him right now. He could have gotten hurt. Then she continued, I am not going to let it slide, even if you give me that look. This is the gymnasium for the Duke's knights to train in. If you make a mess of it, you are inconveniencing the knights who protect our family. Castle replied, it was my fault. At first, I was just trying to show radius around our estate, back in time. Castle told him, this is the gymnasium, the place where the best knights train every day. Radius replied, it's nothing special, we have the best knights at our gymnasium too. So, I heard that you can control fire. Can you even overpower this heavy rain with your power? Castle asked, are you looking down on my powers? The servant told him, young master, you must not use your abilities here. Castle stated, this is the gymnasium, so you can stay out of it. That's an order. The servant said, if the madam knows about this, she will be furious. Castle replied, of course, it's a secret to Mom. Don't say a word to her. After that, Radius asked, wouldn't such a small flame go out the moment it comes in contact with the rain? Castle replied, look closely. Here I go. Did you see it? Radius replied, wow, that was amazing. Castle told him, if you're standing there clapping like that, you must have no abilities. Radius stated, why would you think that? Now look at this. Did you see that? How is it? Just as powerful as your flames, Castle replied. Look at you bragging like that. If I wanted to, I could turn all the trees here into ash right now. Radius said, I can do that much as well, Castle asked, but can you fight using your physical strength? Radius replied, if you're so curious, why don't we have a duel? We'll put the honor of the Duke and the Marquis families on the line. The servant told them, both of you, please calm down, we'll be in big trouble if you get injured. Castle told him, we're just playing around, so stay out of it. Back to the present, Castle told her, I didn't want our family to be seen as lower than the Marquis. Sheriel thought, so all the ruckus was caused due to their pride. Then she told him, let's get you changed before we continue talking, and please clean up the large branches and check if there are any traces of embers left. After that, she asked, if it's all right with you, how about we get the boys changed first? Penzel replied, that would be lovely, but I didn't bring a spare change of clothes for my child. Sheriel replied, I will lend you Castle's clothes. It would be unfortunate if your son caught a cold. Daisy told them, leave them to me, I will do my best. After that, Penzel told her, I want to thank you for today, and I apologize for what happened. Sheriel replied, please, it's nothing. They're just kids, after all. Then Daisy came and said, I brought both the young masters. Thankfully, none of them were hurt. Sheriel asked, look at you two getting along. Have you made up? Radius spoke, I am very sorry for what happened today. I am reflecting upon my misdeeds deep in my heart, and Castle, I am truly sorry, Sheriel said. You are sophisticated even when you are apologizing. Now, Castle, it's your turn to apologize. Castle stated, Dear Marchioness, I am very sorry for worrying you. I deeply apologize. However, Radius, you are really stuck up. Sheriel exclaimed, oh my God, what does that mean? Then she added, that's probably not what Castle meant. Radius replied, I know very well how unlucky I am. Sheriel thought, what? Is it okay if it ends like this, really? Castle asked, so when are you coming again next time? Radius replied, I'll come when the rainy season passes. I don't like the ground being wet and muddy. Castle said, you and I fought together in the rain, but things just didn't add up. Radius told him, I heard you're really funny. Next time, let's compete properly. Sheriel thought, what kind of situation is this now? Penzel told her, they say children become closer while fighting. That makes perfect sense. The next day, Sheriel said, you should knock politely first before coming in. Castle replied, sorry, I'm in a hurry. Please read this for me today. After some time reading the story, Castle asked, if your love is strong, can you use stronger magic? Sheriel replied, I guess so, Castle said. Then I'll be stronger than Radius because I love my mom so much. Sheriel told him, you know that mom is also very strong because we love Castle so much. Castle asked, I know. Then what about dad? Does mom love dad too? Sheriel thought, just thinking about the Duke makes my heart pound. I become conscious of every single action. If this isn't love, what do I call it? Then she replied, yes. I don't know if I can do that, but mom loves dad too, of course. It's the real Sheriel that loves you, not me. Still, I love the Duke. Castle asked, why would you say you don't know if it's okay? Sheriel thought, in my past life, I never cared about something like this. Now that I think about it, I've never even thought about going back. Why am I more attached to this life now? Sheriel continued, but still, if you ask me who I love, I will tell you that I love you for sure. The Duke came in and said, I guess you're reading a storybook. Sheriel was surprised and asked, please make some noise. The Duke replied, I just came in because the door was open, as usual. Sheriel thought, when did you come in? Surely, you didn't hear everything I said. The Duke stated, I'd like to talk to Castle alone about what happened yesterday. Sheriel replied, don't scold him too much because Castle has already acknowledged his mistake and reflected on it. The Duke commented, of course, since he's my son, I know he's already reflecting on it. Still, we need to educate him properly. Sheriel asked, but he's still 6 years old. The Duke replied, but Castle is the heir to the family. Don't worry, I won't push him beyond a certain level of education either. Sheriel told Castle, if your dad scolds you too hard, you have to tell your mom everything. Castle said, let's go quickly, Dad, the Duke thought. The child raised his hand first, then he said, let's go, and Cheryl, I'll give you the answer to your confession from earlier before going to bed. See you tonight. Cheryl thought, what, he heard everything. Then, at night, a lady asked Cheryl, time passes by swiftly, doesn't it? It is already summer, soon. Autumn and winter will follow as well. Our promised day is fast approaching. Are you ready? The next moment, Cheryl woke up and thought, was that a dream? Who was that woman just now? The Duke asked, are you all right? You have a fever, Cheryl replied. I just had a strange dream. The Duke asked, did you have a nightmare again? Cheryl said, again. Do I regularly suffer from nightmares? The Duke replied, no, forget it, you need to rest for the time being. Cheryl emphasized, will you tell me if I ask you whether this nightmare is related to my amnesia? The Duke began telling her, when we first met, we were just little children. I remember you introducing yourself while holding on to the Duchess, as clear as day. Especially because you tripped in front of me, most likely due to your nerves. When I failed to suppress a laugh, you raised your eyes at me and gave me a frightful glare. I thought you were a bold, clumsy girl. I thought that would be the end of our encounters. Yet, you continued to visit our estate, and we often ended up spending time together since we were of similar age. I was slightly annoyed by a girl disturbing my personal time, but I couldn't help being curious about you because of your powerful first impression. Every time we met, I slowly became more drawn to you. That is all I can tell you right now. Cheryl asked, do you have to be like that? Please tell me more. The Duke continued, several years ago, I made a promise with you that we would play with each other like we always have. However, I could not keep that promise. I could only fulfill it when you recently lost your memories. I do not wish for you to regain your memories. You still suffer from nightmares even without them. After all, it is best you get some rest now. I will stay by your side so that you won't be plagued again by nightmares, so, don't worry. Several days later, Daisy asked, did something happen between you and Master? Is that why you are sleeping in separate rooms again? Cheryl replied, isn't that right? Why don't you go and ask him, while you're at it? Why is he going through the trouble of sleeping in a separate room again? Then she thought, I can't do anything about it if I can't remember my past. At night, he rested in another room, saying he had work to do late into the night. During the day, he left the mansion, so she had no way of seeing him. Judging from how he's been acting in the past, the Duke would continue to avoid her. Daisy thought, she looks so troubled. What if they go back to how they were before? Castle came and asked, Mom, did you have a fight with Father? Is it because I've been bad? Cheryl replied, of course not. Why would we ever fight because of you? We've just come across a little problem in our relationship. Castle asked, what is the problem? Cheryl replied, Mommy kept asking Daddy about something he doesn't like to talk about. Castle asked, you fought about something so small like that? Cheryl replied, we didn't fight. We're just collecting our thoughts, that's all. Cheryl spoke, looks like Mommy made you worry. Castle asked again, you don't hate Father, right? You still want to get along with him, right? Cheryl replied, yes, that's right. Castle announced, I'm done talking with Mom. You guys can take over from here. Servants came, and one of them said, it's the Master's orders. Please excuse us, Madam. The next moment, Cheryl shouted, what are you doing? What on earth do you think you are doing? Tell them to put Mommy down. Castle replied, no, you asked me to be nice to my friends. Why do you get to fight with Father? So, guys, I will leave Mom in your care. Cheryl shouted, Castle, wait. Next scene, Cheryl thought, I did plan on having a talk with the Duke, but this is way too sudden. The Duke thought, I was waiting in the office because Castle told me that he wished to ask me about using one's abilities, but he sent Cheryl to me instead. Then he asked, have you come here because of Castle as well? Cheryl replied, that's right. Do you know how shocked I was when they just lifted my chair and started carrying me away? The Duke told her, I am to blame for this. I am sorry for avoiding you. Cheryl thought, the timing of his disappearances lately was quite suspicious, so he was avoiding me after all. Then she asked, why were you avoiding me? The Duke replied, I don't want you to regain your memories, Sheriel commented, but you told me about the day we first met. You said that I was a bold, clumsy girl. The Duke continued, I did not mean to, but I couldn't help it when I saw your distressed expression while you were in my arms. I regretted it after saying it. It feels like I ended up quickening the moment you will regain your memories, and you will end up remembering everything sooner or later. Even if you don't ask me about them so intently, you will remember it all, little by little. Sheriel asked, why didn't you tell me that? That's all you needed to say to me, that I will remember it later. The Duke stated, if I said it out loud, it would be admitting that the happiness I feel now is nothing but an illusion. I was afraid that by accepting my insecurities and my denial of the upcoming future, merely approaching you would strike fear into my heart. Sheriel told him, don't address my feelings for you as illusions. If I can't ease your worries by telling you that my feelings won't disappear or change, then let me show you. I love you. This is for you. I promise that my feelings won't change even if I regain my memories. The Duke asked, you are forgiving me even though I acted so selfishly. Sheriel replied, I was never angry in the first place. I want to ask about my past memories, so please, come back to our bedchambers. Castle and everyone in the mansion are worried about our relationship. The Duke spoke, I will. 1 month later, Lady Penel welcomed them and thanked them for coming all the way. Penel asked, how is your health, are you doing well? Lady Penel replied, I have been quite well as of late, thank you for visiting me as well. Duchess, Sheriel told her, I am grateful that you agreed to meet me despite your health. After that, Lady Penel asked, these leaves are amazing. When brewed, the tea can soothe your pains, correct, after only having bitter medicines. Then to getting a drink such refreshing, sweet tea lifted my spirits. Having said that, is there a reason you wish to speak to me privately? Sheriel thought, don't panic, stay calm, let's make up an excuse instead. Then she replied, I heard that you have a child around the same age as Castle. I have not shown my face much in social gatherings, so I was not able to get acquainted with the other women. I was able to befriend Penel since we both love and care for our children so much, that is why I wanted to get to know you as well. It's been difficult to find someone who really cares for and dotes on their child. I contacted you because I thought that our values on parenting would align quite well. Lady Penel spoke, actually, since you cherish your son so much, that gives me an excuse to talk about how cute my Leah is. The next moment, Leah came and said, Mummy. Sheriel thought, oh my god, it's the female lead I saw in the novel, so cute, she's so soft and squishy, like a hamster. Lady Penel said, I told you that I had to go tend to our guests, it is impolite for you to barge in like this. Leah replied, I really missed you, I'm sorry, who came to see us today? Wow, she's so pretty. Sheriel asked, are you talking about me? Leah said, I'm sorry, welcome. Sheriel introduced herself. Tila said, I'm sorry for all the trouble she caused you. Leah, why don't you go back outside? Leah replied, but you're always lying down in bed, Mummy. Tila said, I'm sorry, after we finish having tea today. The next moment, she collapsed. Sheriel said, Lady, please wake up. Then she thought, this is not good, her health is much worse than I imagined. The doctor came and said, please take her to her bedchambers. Sheriel comforted Leah, don't worry, your mother will be fine. Leah replied, but the blood, this is the first time I've seen her like that. Sheriel commented, if you promise to stay strong, your mother will be able to rest without worrying about you, and become as healthy as ever. Then she thought, she really doesn't have much time, I need to hurry and tell her about the cure to the plague of Lopetus. If I'm not able to have a conversation with Lady Tila alone, then I should ask her child instead. Sheriel said, it looks like Kyrenia is really shaken up by what happened, I have to soothe her, so do you mind leaving the room? Note: Kyrenia was her real name, and Leah was her nickname. The maids told Sheriel, but we can't possibly inconvenience you while you came as a guest to the house. Sheriel replied, I want to be with her for a while longer, it's fine, I'll leave once she calms down. Leah told them, I want to be alone with Lady Sheriel, you can go look after Mummy. After some time, Leah asked, will Mommy be able to become healthy again? Sheriel stated, Kyrenia, do you believe in fairies? Leah replied, by fairies, Do you mean the fairy of Hershen that brings you good luck? Sheriel told her, yes, that one. Then she thought, that was the most popular fairy tale in the empire. Leah said, I believe in the fairy of Hershen, that's why I've done a lot of nice things. Sheriel asked, would you believe me if I told you that I am the fairy of Hershen, who came to bless you with good luck? Leah replied, yes, I do. Lady, you have silver hair, just like the fairy, and you're so pretty, so I can believe that. Sheriel stated, Kyrenia, you are so lovely. Leah told her, you can call me Leah. Sheriel replied, so that's your nickname, but what I'm about to tell you should be kept a secret between us. Can you promise not to tell anyone? Leah replied, I'm good at keeping secrets. Sheriel stated, I'm going to bless you with good luck now. If you do as I say, your mother will get better in no time. Please keep it safe. Leah asked, this is a flower, but it is all wilted. Sheriel replied, it is not wilted, it just has not had the opportunity to grow well. These flowers are part of the gift I have brought for you. Whenever your mother is bathing, make sure to put these flowers with her where the moonlight can reach them. Leah asked, if I do that, will good luck come my way? Sheriel replied, of course, if you do as I say. I promise that you will have good luck. Remember, it must receive light from the moon. Will you be able to do that for me? Leah replied, yes, I can do that. Thank you so much, Miss Fairy. Sheriel thought, what do I do? She is so cute. I want her to become my daughter-in-law so badly. I've been able to successfully re-educate Castle, so if I just provide an opportunity for them to become closer, maybe the children will end up forming a bond. Then she asked, won't you play at our mansion in the future? Meanwhile, Tila thought, I was enjoying tea with the others just now. I must have lost consciousness again. I wonder how much more time I have left to live. I hope I can make it for a few more years until Leah grows up. The next moment, Leah came and said, I need to keep the promise I made with Miss Fairy. Come on, I've already prepared everything. Tila asked, where are you taking me in the middle of the night? Leah replied, you'll see soon. In the next scene, Tila said, this is an area used by the house servants. Leah replied, please take a bath here just for today. The moonlight can't reach the bathtub in your room. Miss Fairy told me to make sure that the water you bathe in is shone on by the moon. Tila thought, well, I can't possibly say no if she's so enthusiastic about it. Usually, I'd have just scolded her, but for some reason, I want to play along with her strange request today. After that, the flowers given by Sheriel suddenly started bloom and shining. Tila thought, did the flowers bloom because I entered the bathtub? They didn't react when Leah was inside. Leah exclaimed, wow, they are so pretty. Miss Fairy was telling the truth. Tila asked, you keep mentioning this fairy, what do you mean by it? Leah replied, it's the fairy of Hershen, the picture we read together. She said if I fulfilled her request, she would bless me with good luck and make Mummy healthy again. Tila thought, I've just noticed that it has become easier to breathe. My head feels much clearer too. No medicine I took has ever made me feel like this. I haven't even received treatment from a priest, but my ailment is getting better. She asked, did the fairy say anything else to you? Leah replied, she said that if I did as she asked every night, then on the 100th night, the good luck will stay with me forever. Tila thought, good luck will stay forever, that must mean my illness will also be cured by then. Leah said, Mummy, look at this. This flower looks just like Miss Fairy. Tila thought, the fairy of Hershen also had beautiful silver hair. Hold on, if they have silver hair, could it be that the Duchess knew what kind of illness I was suffering from all along? It is not a common occurrence for a Duchess to express hospitality to a mere Viscountess. Most importantly, why would she? No, how could I possibly not love a child like this? Could that be why Lady Sheriel said all those things? She must have understood my feelings. How I can't bear to leave behind a child I love. I want to be able to watch over my Leah, who is a troublemaker yet so pure and kind, as she grows up. I've been accepting of the pain I've had to endure, but the truth is that I don't want to die. Leah asked, Mummy, are you in pain again? Tila replied, my lovely Leah, how could I possibly leave you behind? I promise that Mummy is going to become healthier. I will continue to be right by your side forever and ever. On the other hand, Sheriel thought, the office door is open. I can hear someone talking, so they are both here. Has Castle's class not ended yet? Castle asked, wouldn't a purple dress that resembles the color of Mom Jules's eyes be the best choice? Duke replied, no, as she is like a bewitching spirit that resides inside the ocean. Blue is much more befitting for her. Cheryl thought, what are they talking about this time? They are so silly, like father, like son. Let's pretend I didn't hear them and just go back to my room. Castle came and asked, when did you return home? Cheryl asked, were you spending some quality father and son time together? The Duke replied, we were talking about you. Castle also replied, yes, we were talking about you. Cheryl thought, they're not ashamed about it at all. I'm so embarrassed. Then she said, don't you have paperwork to take care of? And Castle, didn't you say you had a book to read? The Duke replied, I was about to do it now. Castle also replied, I was going to as well. Cheryl thought both of them are something else. After some time, Cheryl asked, dear, do you have something on your mind? The Duke replied, if I say yes, will you comfort me? Cheryl said, shall I give you a hug? Then she thought, I was going to embrace him, but now it looks like I'm the one being embraced. She asked, who has been tormenting you? The Duke asked, if I tell you who it is, will you scold them for me? Cheryl replied, of course. The Duke started laughing. Cheryl asked, why are you laughing? I'm being serious. The Duke replied, because you're lovely, you must be tired, you should go ahead and get some rest. If you try to tempt me any further, it will be troublesome. Cheryl asked, what do you mean by troublesome? The Duke explained, it would bother me if I got too close to you and you ended up running away from me. I like the amount of distance we have between each other right now. It's enough for you to accept me without running away. Cheryl said, well, not me. I don't like it, but I like you, which is why I'm going to try my best to shorten the distance between us. Since I'm a little tired from visiting the Fornell estate, I'll be on my way. Don't overwork yourself. After that, the Duke remembered Castle saying, it was Daisy. She told me that if I stopped seeing you and Mom together, I'd get a baby sister. When will you keep the promise you made to me? The Duke replied, forgive me, it's my fault. Castle said, I'll continue helping you out in the future as well, but promise me this, I want to keep seeing Mommy. If she turns cold again, I don't want that to happen, it's scary. Promise me that you'll try to keep our family dynamic like this from now on. The Duke replied, I promise. Back in the present, he thought, I didn't expect Cheryl to pop in like that. It's good that she didn't hear the promise I made with Castle. After some time, an aide came and asked, Your Grace, is it okay to discard the letters from Count Owen's estate without showing them to her? The Duke replied, I thought I made myself clear already. Burn the letters in a place where Cheryl won't find them. The aide asked, but the madam was a part of the Count's family before she got married, before she lost her memory. Count Owen was the only one who treated her with kindness. I don't understand why you're instructing the Count's letters to be thrown out. The Duke replied, Have you learned nothing from living in this mansion all this time? You thought he treated her with kindness. The Count only saw Cheryl as a property of the family name. Whenever he visited, he'd always come up with an excuse so that I'd have to lend money to him. The me from the past wasn't able to do anything, but the me from the present is different. I'll protect Cheryl no matter what it takes. Forget about the paperwork and bring Amore to me. I have some special instructions for him to carry out. Next scene, Cheryl asked, Did you say that Duke was heading off to the palace today? Daisy replied, Yes, it is an order from the Emperor. Cheryl said, He said that he would depart at dawn, so he must be gone already. The next moment, the Duke told her, Of course, I haven't left, I didn't get to see your face yet. Cheryl shouted, You need to stop sneaking around. I've told you to announce your presence many times now. Will you be leaving now? You should have woken me up. The Duke replied, It's because you were sleeping so soundly. It pains me to leave now that I'm looking at your face. Cheryl asked, Are you going to defy the Emperor's order? The Duke replied, I would if I could. Please try to endure it for a couple of days. Cheryl said, Please take care of yourself. I'll be waiting for your return. After that, Cheryl thought, Without the Duke, the bed seems much wider than usual. She asked, Have you received anything from the Viscountess's estate? Daisy replied, Yes, a letter arrived from there today. Cheryl thought, Did it work? After reading the letter, she was happy that it really did work. At the end of the letter, Tila had written, "Please send my thanks to the beautiful fairy of Hershin." Cheryl thought, "What? She called me a fairy. I'm going to die from embarrassment." After some time, Cheryl thought, "When did I fall asleep? Where am I?" She heard crying from somewhere. "There's a child at a place like this. Are you all right? Why are you alone in a place like this?" The next moment, she was shocked. "So this child is young Cheryl." Young Cheryl told her, "Something sad happened to me." Cheryl asked, "What happened?" Then she thought, "That's strange. My chest feels taut, like I'm going to be overcome by sadness." Young Cheryl asked, "You're struggling to endure it all right now even when you know nothing. Do you really want to know the truth? You don't have to find out about it. I could stop you from remembering it forever. You can still be happy that way." Cheryl replied, "No, I don't want to become happy that way. You know how, right? How to help me recover my memories." Young Cheryl told her, "You were only given one opportunity. The price for it hasn't even been paid yet. Why aren't you accepting the opportunity to become happy? You could hurt the people you love again." Cheryl stated, "I won't hurt them. No matter what I went through in the past, I know that they are lovable people. I have grown to love those people very much." Young Cheryl told her, "To regain your memories, you must meet with someone I want you to meet the least, our father." Cheryl woke up and thought, "Was it a dream? The key to my memories lies in my father." After some time, Cheryl asked, "What is that noise?" Castle told her, "Don't go, Mom, it's probably nothing." Cheryl replied, "I have to take care of the tea estate now that your father is away. It would be terrible if something bad happened." After that, the guards told her, "Please head back, madam. We can't allow you to go this way." Cheryl thought, "For the knights to try and stop me like this, it must be the Duke's doing. Is there something I shouldn't be seeing? Could it be?" Then she told them, "Thank you for the concern, but I would like to see what is happening for myself." The next moment, her father, Bordy, came and said, "It's been a while." Cheryl thought, "Father." Bordy said, "The knights seem to be getting in my way today." Cheryl thought, "He just had to visit when Duke left to go to the palace, but on the other hand, this could be a big opportunity for me. Today, I will make sure I discover the truth behind Cheryl's past." Then Cheryl said, "Sir Amore, please allow my father inside." Amore replied, "I'm sorry, madam. Because of the Duke's orders, I am not permitted to let him in." Cheryl stated, "Do you not believe that you should be taking my orders as your highest priority as the Duchess while the Duke is away? Don't make me repeat myself. Let him in." Amore said, "Everyone, make way." Bordy asked, "Are you really greeting your father like this? It breaks my heart to see you treating your own family so coldly." Cheryl replied, "I was not aware that you would be visiting. Let's move to the drawing room." After that, she thought, "Just looking at him makes me feel sick to my stomach. What on earth happened between Cheryl and this man I call my father?" Castle said, "Don't make that face, it's scary." Cheryl replied, "I'm sorry. Mommy must have been in a bad mood." Castle continued, "You used to always make that face." Cheryl said, "I promise to be careful from now on, so don't be scared. Whenever I see our dear Castle, it brings a smile to my face, so don't be scared." Castle said, "I promised father that I would keep making you smile, but when that man came in, your expression darkened. Since father isn't here right now, I will protect you. If that person tries to do something bad, I will turn him into ash." Cheryl replied, "I'm grateful for your protection, but I'm afraid I have to say no to ashes. Just a little scare will do." After that, Bordy stated, "You two seem close. You used to look at your son with such cold eyes before. Do you love your offspring because he shares your inferior bloodline?" Cheryl said, "Don't say that to Castle. How could you say something so dirty in front of a child?" Bordy said, "He hasn't received proper education yet. He's trying to burn his grandfather alive." Castle stated, "Even if you are my grandfather, I won't forgive someone who treats my mom so rudely." Bordy continued, "Don't you wish to know why I said that your mother is of lowly blood? It seems that we have a lot to talk about. Why don't you take that tiny thing outside?" Castle shouted, "You think I would leave?" Cheryl thought, "That man is really the worst. There's no knowing what nasty things this man will say if I let Castle stay. I won't let my child get hurt." Then she said, Can you trust your mom just this once? I want to be a mother who overcomes troubles on her own instead of being protected by her son, so won't you leave the room for a moment?" After some time, Bordy said, "What a sight to behold, you have tamed them well, both the Duke and his offspring. Since there's no need for small talk, I will simply cut to the chase. I need funds for my business." Sheriel thought, "My head is hurting again." Then she remembered a memory. Father said, "It seems like your pretty face worked on the Duke. He wants me to hand you over in return for paying off our family's debt." Sheriel said, "No, I don't want to marry into the Duke's family." Father stated, "I've kept you alive this long because of your looks. Now you're talking back to me. I don't need to hear your opinions." Sheriel thought, "It's young Sheriel's memories again." She said, "Another business. You know your family nearly went bankrupt from running a business recklessly." Bordy stated, "You used to be so obedient. You're getting riled up like a brat just because I mentioned business. If you're just a child birthed from a lowly maid, do you really delude yourself into believing you're of noble blood?" Another memory came to Sheriel. Young Sheriel's mother said, "I will protect you. I won't let anyone hurt you." Suddenly, knights captured her and said, from the color of her eyes, the Count was right. Mother shouted, "Who are you people? Let my child go this instant. Please let go of her." Young Sheriel was crying loudly. After that, the Countess asked, "What is your name again?" Sheriel replied, "It is Elle." Bordy said, "Their names are similar. She has a fair face, so she is perfect as a substitute for an illegitimate child. From now on, your name is Sheriel. Instead of being the child of a lowly maid, you are now the daughter of noble blood born from the Countess." This is how Elle, who was born as the illegitimate child of a maid, was forced to become Sheriel. One day, 5 years after she became Sheriel, it was a sunny day in spring. The nanny, who was looking after her, asked, "Where are you, my lady?" Suddenly, Sheriel came out of the bushes. The nanny, who was actually her mother, said, "You spooked me. You're 10 years old, but you are still indulging in childish pranks like this." Sheriel replied, "But being around you makes me want to act like a child, and Mom, it's okay to call me Elle since we are alone right now." Her mother told her, "You can't say that name out loud in public. It's about time you got used to it. Your mother is not me. It is the Countess, do you understand?" Sheriel replied, "Okay. By the way, when the flowers bloom a little more, would you like to go on an outing together?" The nanny asked, "An outing, but if the madam finds out?" Sheriel said, "The madam, I mean, mother, is not fond of me anyway. She wouldn't care about what I am doing." The nanny said, "All right, then we can go together, but I wonder, why doesn't the madam like you, my lady? You are such a lovely and beautiful girl." Sheriel thought, "You're probably the only one in this mansion who thinks that way, Mom." Then she replied, "Who knows, I'm not too sure myself." The next day, the Countess told her, "Keep your behavior in check. You are still acting like a lowly servant girl." Sheriel thought, "Did something happen? But I've been good and attended all my classes lately. The Countess has never called me by my name before. Something feels off." Then she said, "I heard that you called for me, Mother." The Countess told her, "There's no need for you to be so scared. I have been too negligent of you. It is time to step up as a mother." Sheriel replied, "Thank you." The Countess asked, "Has anything been bothering you lately?" Sheriel replied, "No, everything has been good." Then she thought, "Why is she asking questions like this?" The Countess said, "I see, that's a relief. I heard that you were going on an outing with your nanny, isn't that right?" Sheriel thought, "How did you know?" The Countess continued, "I am hurt to see you run after your nanny instead of your own mother. Isn't it time you grow up and find something else to do rather than fawning over her?" Sheriel thought, "But the time I spend with her is the only time I can catch a break." Then she replied, "But I." The Countess cut her off, "Don't you want to spend time with me? That's too bad. Then, you may leave." Sheriel thought, "She's not scolding me, but what is this sense of foreboding I feel?" The next scene, her mother said, "Elle, my baby, you're sleeping like an angel. I am sorry. I promised that I would protect you forever, but I don't think I can keep that promise anymore." The next day, Sheriel woke up and thought, "What a good sleep." Then she thought, "This is my mom's portrait. Why do I have this?" She called out, "Nanny, where are you?" Another maid came and replied, "Greeting Ree is she, where is my nanny?" The maid replied, "From the looks of it, you should get something to eat first." Cheryl asked, "I don't need that right now. Tell me, where did my nanny go?" The maid replied, "The madam won't be pleased with your attitude." Cheryl thought, "She must have done something to her." Then she said, "I'm sorry, I won't be bad, please prepare my meal." Cheryl thought, "I'm sorry, Mom, I should have behaved in front of the Countess. I need to see her. I will apologize to her for acting like a spoiled child." After some time, the Countess asked, "Why are you crying? Your pretty face has become a mess." Cheryl replied, "I'm sorry, it's all my fault, so please bring her back." The Countess asked, "What good would it do for me to take something of yours?" Cheryl replied, "I'm sorry for acting like a brat, so please give me one more chance." The Countess asked, "Do you wish to see your mother again that badly?" Cheryl replied, "I do." The Countess told her, "Your mother has been sent away to work as a servant for the Duke Loperam's estate in the north. They just happened to be hiring for servants, so I sent her there. Don't be too disappointed. We are planning to visit the north around summer to rest and recuperate our health. Actually, would you like to come with us?" Cheryl replied, "Yes, please take me with you." Bordy emphasized, "This is a great opportunity to visit the Duke's estate and establish a relationship. The Duke's son may still be young, but as a man, he should be able to appreciate beauty. Why don't you try seducing him with your looks? You do need to somehow repay us for raising you as a noble." Now back in the present time. The Count said, "That is reality. You are the daughter of a lowly maid instead of a noble." Cheryl replied, "It does not matter. The Duke is not the type of person to care about trivial matters like that." Bordy continued, "How kind of you to speak of him that way, but wasn't it also you who screamed at me, saying, 'How could I marry you off to the son of the man who killed your mother?'" Cheryl asked, "What did you say?" Like this video. Hit the like button and subscribe for more videos.